All these crits are honestly turning me on. Please don't stop. Please, like, I'm serious, dude. Like, I'm gonna come. Can I beat a Pokemon SoulSilver Hardcore Nuzlocke when every Pokemon only has one move? How are you gonna do anything without status or setup moves? I never said I couldn't use those. In a Hardcore Nuzlocke, once a Pokemon faints, it's dead forever, you can't use items from the bag in battle, and you can't overlevel the next gym leader's ace Pokemon. The rest of the rules are in the description down below. Just for transparency, I do use rare candies in all my runs just to speed up grinding. We start our journey in New Bark Town, where Professor Elm gives us our first Pokemon, a Totodile named Pecan. Pecan starts with Tackle at level 5, but quickly learns Water Gun at level 6, which he'll be running for the time being. After beating up our rival Allergy, we can get Pokeballs and start our run. I caught a Pidgey on Route 29 named Peanut, who has Tackle at level 2. On Route 46, we can grab a Geodude named Cashew, who's going to have Tackle. On the way to Violet City, we can catch a Weedle named Hazelnut, who has Poison Sting, but she can evolve right away into a Kakuna and then into a Beedrill, who learns Fury Attack. Our last important encounter before Violet City is a Zubat named Almond from the Dark Cave. Almond doesn't have any great moves yet, so he's stuck with Astonish. We arrive in Violet City and we're going to have to hustle through the Sprout Tower. Along the way, Cashew learns Rock Throw, which is going to be crucial for the next couple gyms. We take down the Elder and it's time to prepare for our first gym battle. Almond learns Bite, making him a useful team member finally, and Peanut has the chance to learn Quick Attack, but I'm going to stick with Gust for the time being, just as a backup in case of Bugsy. With our team up to the level cap of 13, we can head into the gym and challenge Faulkner and his flying types to battle. Faulkner leads with Pidgey and I lead with Cashew. Pidgey loves spamming Sand Attack, so after 2 accuracy drops, I swap to Peanut to shake the drop, plus, thanks to Peanut's Keen Eye ability, Faulkner's Pidgey won't use Sand Attack. I swap back into Cashew on a resisted tackle. Pidgey does get off 1 Sand Attack, but Cashew can connect through it for the one-shot KO with a Rock Throw. Second out is Faulkner's ace, Pidgeotto. This one doesn't spam Sand Attack, but Cashew is still missing a whole bunch. I'll save you the time, but we do eventually take down Pidgeotto with a couple of super effective rock throws, all while leaving Cashew with 18 HP. With that, we won our first gym battle of the challenge, with the second one right around the corner. Before making our way to the second gym, we can grab some more encounters. I catch a Rattata from Sprout Tower named Pistachio, and he has the Guts ability, meaning that we won't be sending him to the box to rot. She has Quick Attack when we catch her, but we're going to keep it that way for the time being. On Route 32, I encountered a Mareep and I killed it. Yeah. We head into Union Cave where I find out that I can dodge this hiker. I fought this guy in every run I've ever done. We do catch an Onyx here, which could be useful if we find a metal coat. The egg we got at the mart hatched into a Togepi named Macadamia, but I forgot to restart the recording after running around for an hour. We save the Slowpoke well and make friends with Kurt, which is going to be great because clearly Pokemon protagonists need some father figures in this game. With no new encounters except Slowpoke and Slowpoke well, but I'm way too lazy to grind for that. All we need to do is make some move decisions. I decide to give Pistachio Hyper Fang over Quick Attack for that added damage. Cashew gets Magnitude over Rock Throw since I have a replacement for a rock move. With that out of the way, we can head into the gym to take on Bugsy and his bug types. Bugsy leads with his ace, Scyther, and I lead with Pine. It U-turns out right away, so a Rock Throw lands on Metapod for over half. Pine can outspeed and take down Bugsy's first Cocoon with another on the next turn. Second out is Scyther again. This time it goes for Focus Energy, which gives Pine the chance to get a clean one-shot with another 4 times super effective Rock Throw. Last for Bugsy is Kakuna. Obviously, this one doesn't stand a chance here, so 2 Rock Throws can take down the second Cocoon. With that, we've got Gym Badge number 2 and we're ready to make our way to Goldenrod City. Right after the second gym, we fight the hardest fight in the early game, Rival 1. This fight isn't too bad unless your rival has Bayleaf, which is super annoying because its moveset is Reflect, Synthesis, Poison Powder, and high crit ratio Razor Leaf. We do make it through, but just barely. And when I say barely, I mean barely. We help corral the Farfetch'd in Ilex Forest and catch an Oddish named Brazil with Absorb. If we can evolve him later, he'll be a solid team member. We get an Abra as our encounter on Route 34, but a Great Ball doesn't catch it right away. We arrive in Goldenrod City, home of the third gym. We teach Whitney some basic literacy skills, and she agrees to go back to the gym. Before we take her on, we do head to Route 35, where I catch a Nidoran female named Acorn. She can evolve at level 16 into Nidorina, and with her move being Double Kick, she's going to be great for the upcoming gym. With everything we need to get done, we head to the normal type gym to challenge Whitney and her normal types for the third gym battle. Whitney leads with Clefairy and I lead with Acorn. Metronome can turn this matchup into a coin flip. Metronome rolls a Force Palm, which not only crits, but also gets the paralysis. On the next turn, a double slap misses, letting Acorn secure the KO with another double kick. Whitney's second Pokemon is one of the most infamous in all of Nuzlocking, her Milk Tank. Attract and Stomp Flinch is so cheesy, but with the limited resources this early, it can be a tough battle. Pine comes in on a Stomp for 4 damage. For the next 7 turns, Pine fights tooth and nail through Attract and Flinch to connect with a total of 3 Rock Throws, bringing Miltank into the yellow. Good fight, soldier. I swap into my other Rock type, Cashew, on another Stomp for light damage. Miltank goes straight for Attract, but Cashew goes full Gone vs Pito mode and unleashes a magnitude 10 on Miltank, taking it down from 1/3. What a monster. With the Miltank monster slayed, we've officially won our 3rd gym badge of the run, and made Whitney cry in the process, which is always a nice bonus. It's time to head to Ecruteak City, and to do that we need to pass through the National Park, which is somewhere I'm gonna circle back to a little bit later. All we need to do is go this way and... I forgot the watering can. Okay, I'm back with the can, and here's where we can catch our next encounter. This Sudowoodo named Hickory. Hickory is a pretty solid Pokemon, but since Sturdy doesn't act like a focus sash anymore, I don't see her getting a ton of value. Once we get to Ecruteak City, we can take down our rival in the Scorched Tower and grab a Coughing named Coconut that I'm almost certain will never see battle. We grab the Surf and Strength HMs, and now it's time for another gym battle. This time, it's time to take down Morty and his Ghost types. Morty leads with Ghastly and I lead with Almond, who evolved into a Golbat. He can outspeed and with a super effective bite can easily one-shot Morty's lead. Second up is his first Haunter, the one with Dream Eater. I don't want Almond to get put to sleep, so I swap into Hazelnut to tank the Hypnosis. Since this will either be a Dream Eater or a Curse, I swap into Macadamia, who also evolved. Listen, I keep forgetting to press record. Macadamia now has the move Encore. I assume I'd outspeed here, but I don't. Thankfully, it just went for Curse, so Encore locks Haunter into its own demise. A second Curse KOs Haunter, leaving Morty with half his team remaining. He brings out his ace Gengar third. I'm expecting a mean look here, so I bring Almond back in, as he gets trapped on the battlefield. I'm willing to let Almond go down here, but after tanking a Shadow Ball to just 29 HP, a super effective bite gets the crit for the one-shot KO. Okay Almond, I see you. Last up is Morty's second Haunter. Since I'm low, I swap into Hazelnut to tank an attack, but it goes for Curse, dropping its own HP to half. Hazelnut doesn't need to die for no reason, so I swap into Pistachio expecting a Sucker Punch, but instead I got a mean look. That's not great for my Pokemon with only a normal type move. I'm writing my farewell to Pistachio, but Haunter just uses Curse to take itself out. Whatever. With Haunter down, we've won our 4th gym battle of the run, and we're a quarter of the way through all the badges we need to collect. We can head in 2 paths now, east or west. I decide to go west towards Olivine City. Along the way on Route 38, we catch a Magnemite named Butternut, who joins the team right away. On Route 39, we catch a Meowth named Callow, who I didn't think would be great, but it does get Fake Out, so it's not the worst Pokemon in the world. We arrive in Olivine City, where Allergy is mad because he can't eat a PB&J. Grow up. We scale the lighthouse and meet Jasmine, who needs medicine for Ampharos. Can she go get it? No, of course not. That's a random stranger problem, apparently. In Olivine City, we fish up a Krabby named Beechnut, who's gonna be great once we get a physical water move. See, the joke is it doesn't get a good physical water. We surf down Route 40 and catch a Tentacruel named Chestnut and arrive in Cianwood City, home of the 5th gym. Since I have access to so many encounters, I want to change the team up to suit every gym battle. So I bring Cola, Almond, and Brazil onto the team, and they all evolve into Persian, Crobat, and Gloom for the fight. I also still have Butternut on the team, so they evolve into a Magneton. Here's a look at what the rest of the team is and their moves. But with that prep done, we can head inside the gym to challenge Chuck and his fighting types to battle. Chuck leads with Primeape and I lead with Almond. We can outspeed and hit an air cutter for over half, as Primeape just tries to cheese us with double team strats. It doesn't work since Almond is, that guy, so he hits another air cutter for the KO. Second out is Chuck's ace, Poliwrath. An air cutter does about a third, as a surf does just less than half to Almond. I can take one more, so we stay in and use another air cutter to knock Poliwrath below half. I bring in Butternut on a resisted body slam for 10 damage, but it gets the para. That's not a big deal, so after a surf brings Butternut to 30 HP, he stays fully paralyzed. Awesome. I swap into Brazil, but before I do, Poliwrath charges a Focus Punch. Brazil eats it coming in for almost half, even though it was resisted. Ugh. Brazil can out-heal Surf damage with Mega Drain, so after 7 Mega Drains, 2 Hyper Potions, and 1 landed Hypnosis, we've got Brazil, who's asleep, and Poliwrath with 3/4 HP. How is it higher? I swap into Cola on a Surf for less than half. She's just here to get some Fake Out Chip, which she does, and then promptly switches into Macadamia. I go for an Encore to lock it into Surf, but it charges a Focus Punch, which I guess doesn't matter since it's going for Surf. What is that interaction about? I thought it was charging a Focus Punch. Now that it's surfing, I swap into Peanut, who takes 1 for over half. I kinda need a safe swap here, so I stay in with Peanut and hit a Gust for some chip damage before she goes down to a second Surf. Rip Peanut. I go back into Cola for some free Fake Out damage before swapping into a sleeping Brazil. I'm hoping she wakes up quick and can finish off Poliwrath, but she sleeps for 3 turns, getting hit to 8 HP before waking up and just missing the KO with a Mega Drain. That recovery should mean she can take another serve unless she gets crit and goes down. Unlucky. I bring in Cola to finish off the battle with another priority Fake Out. With Poliwrath down, we've won our 5th gym badge of the run while also racking up our first 2 deaths of the run. Our next gym battle is pretty soon, so after replacing Air Cutter with Fly, Almonds takes us back to Olivine City, where we can give Jasmine the medicine and she returns to the gym. Her level cap is actually above Pryce's, who's the 7th gym leader, but we only need 1 Pokemon to take care of this gym anyways. I bring Cashew back onto the team and he evolves into a Graveler. At level 33, he learns Earthquake, which is perfect for sweeping Jasmine. Here's a look at the team we're bringing. We head inside the gym to take on Jasmine and her Steel types. Jasmine leads with Magnemite and I lead with Cashew. A Supersonic connects, confusing Cashew, but he breaks through anyways and gets the one-shot KO with Earthquake. Second is Jasmine's ace, Steelix. It sets up a Sandstorm as Cashew breaks through again to hit another Earthquake for about a third. I don't want to tempt fate here, so I swap into Chestnut, who's at level 31, on an Iron Tail for some okay damage. Chestnut can outspeed and KO Steelix with 4 levels on her with a Surf. Last up is Jasmine's second Magnemite. I bring in Cashew on a Thunder Wave that he's immune to. Magnemite hits a Sonic Boom for 20 damage, but a 4 times super effective Stab Earthquake KOs Magnemite. That wins us our 6th gym badge of the run, which is technically the 7th whatever. Only 2 Johto badges to go. We head to Mahogany Town, where we can grab an encounter along the way. Or at least we would if I remembered to get Pokeballs. I'm so used to my low encounter letter locks that I keep forgetting I actually need them. I'm also not going to use the red Gyarados or Gyarados at all, just FYI. I do grab the Choice Specs though, because they have no drawback in this challenge. We walk through the Team Rocket hideout and I fly back to Ecruteak to grab some Ultra Balls to catch the guaranteed Voltorb from there, who I name Pilly. We beat up Ariana with Lance and I've got one thing left to do before the gym. I fly back to Goldenrod and get the Eevee from Bill, who I name Candlenut. I'm sure you can tell by the name where this is going. After we win a bug catching contest and get a Firestone, Candlenut can become a Flareon, who doesn't learn Fire Fang till 43 in this generation. Well, I grind some Voltorb Flip and get a Flamethrower TM for the time being. With everything out of the way, we head inside to take on Pryce and his Ice types for the 7th gym badge. Pryce leads with Seal and I lead with Pilly. Our Charge Beam misses, which lets Seal get off an Icy Wind for free. 90% accurate moves and I don't get along in Johto. Pilly still outspeeds, so our second Charge Beam actually hits. On the next turn, Pilly still outspeeds and finishes off Seal with a 3rd Charge Beam. Second up is Piloswine, who's immune to electric attacks. I swap into Cola on a Mud Bomb for about a 3rd. She's only here for the Fake Out damage and the flinch, so I swap into Candlenut on a Blizzard that misses. Thanks to Candlenut's terrible special attack, a Flamethrower can't quite get the KO, leaving Piloswine in the red. Thankfully, the Citrus Berry kept it out of potion range, so one more Flamethrower from Candlenut can actually bring down Piloswine. Last up for Pryce is his Dugong. Thanks to its thick fat ability, fire moves are basically the same as shooting a rubber band at it, so I swap into Pistachio on a priority Ice Shard for light damage. Pistachio has Super Fang now, which always does half of the opponent's HP, which makes it a great tool for setting up KOs with another Pokemon. His job is done though, so I swap into Pilly on an Aurora Beam for less than a 3rd. Our Charge Beam misses because, of course it does, and Dugong can get off a rest. Pilly's second Charge Beam misses again as Sleep Talk rolls an Aurora Beam. Our 3rd Charge Beam finally connects, bringing Dugong to just above half. There's no way another Charge Beam will miss, so... Are you kidding? It's 90% accurate, not 25. F this. We do get bailed out as Dugong wakes up, causing its Sleep Talk to fail. I'm not trying Charge Beam again, so I swap to Cola on an Ice Shard for light damage. Cola does what she does best and gets some Fake Out damage and a flinch before I swap into Almond as Dugong uses another rest. This is slowly looking worse and worse. Almond uses Fly, which lets him dodge the Ice Shard as he's up in the air. When he comes down, Fly does less than half as Sleep Talk rolls Rest, leaving Almond at full HP. Something unheard of happens, which is I actually get some luck on my side. Almond comes in clutch again, getting a critical hit with his second Fly, taking down Dugong before we lose a team member. We've won our 7th gym badge and the TM for Hail. With only one badge to go, it's time for the worst evil team wrap-up in all of Pokemon. We head to Goldenrod and revamp the team for this gauntlet. Rejoining the team is Cashew, who's newly evolved into a Golem, and Pecan, who's finally evolved into a Feraligatr. The new kid on the block is Paris, named Marcona, who I caught doing a bug catching contest at the National Park. She can learn Spore at level 17 and then evolve into a Parasect. Having access to Spore should make pivoting pretty easy. While beating through the first portion, Pecan gets like 3 freezes with Ice Fang in a row, wasting any future good luck I might have gotten in the run. We beat up Ariana and Archer, stop the reunion of Team Rocket, and can continue our gym challenge. I didn't get my Route 42 encounter, so I go back and luckily it's a Spearow. We aren't going to use it, but that does guarantee either Heracross or Aipom on Route 44, of which we get Heracross. I name him Cedar, and he's got the move Close Combat. We cross through the Icy Pass where I catch a Jinx named Karkua. She might be helpful for Clair at the very least. We arrive in Blackthorn City, home of the 8th and final gym of Johto. Before we challenge Clair, we've got one encounter left. By repelling with a level 27 Pokemon in the front of our party, we can guarantee a Skarmory on Route 45 named Red Bopple. Listen, I'm running out of nuts, okay? But with that out of the way, we can make our way through the gym puzzle and challenge Clair and her dragon types to battle. Clair leads with Gyarados and I lead with Pilly. We can outspeed and one-shot with a 4x super effective Stab Thunderbolt. Second out is Clair's first Dragonair. I'm not sure which Dragonair this is, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be using Thunder Wave since Pilly is so fast. I stay in and use another Thunderbolt for about a quarter. This means I can safely swap into Karkua without worrying about getting paralyzed, as she tanks a Dragon Pulse for less than half. She can outspeed and take down Dragonair with a Choice Specs boosted Ice Beam. Third up is Clair's second Dragonair. It doesn't matter though, since Karkua can outspeed and KO with another Ice Beam. Last out is the scary one, Kingdra. I decide to keep her in. We outspeed and an Ice Beam does 3/4 as a Hydro Pump connects and actually doesn't KO. Cool. Karkua survives on 6 HP, so she can outspeed and fire off one more Ice Beam for the KO. With that, we've gotten our last Johto badge and somehow came out with 0 deaths. Clair is all grumpy that she lost, so we have to go tell on her to the elders. Once she realizes we're going to do that, she quickly hands over the badge and the TM for Dragon Pulse. There's 2 things left before the Elite Four. The Legendary Quest, which is boring and I'm going to skip it, and the Kimono Girls. This gauntlet of evolutions can actually be pretty hard, let alone with one move. Thanks to the sheer number of encounters we have though, we can pretty easily counter each one individually, except for Espeon, which I don't really have anything great for. We struggle with it for a second, but we do manage to come out unscathed. With that side quest out of the way, it's time for the worst side quest, Lugia.
Oh, very nice. Look at that.
Pick them up from...
Now that that's been dealt with and the Kimono Girls are all in my fan club, Professor Elm wants me to marry his daughter. Great. Now we can go to Kanto. We surf along Route 28 and make our way to Victory Road. In this game, there's no trainers since our rival Allergy beat them all, making this part of the game very calm and relaxing. It's a nice change of pace. We take down Allergy for the last time and arrive at the Indigo Plateau. For this Elite Four, we've got to do some major team building. We need some hard hitters that can also take a hit. Here are all the Elite Four teams plus the champions. There's some major threats to get through here. Koga's Muck is really hard to get through thanks to minimize and solid defenses. Bruno's Machamp can end runs with high crit rate cross chops, and Karen's Gengar and Houndoom are really hard to check with just one move. Oh yeah, and Lance has 3 Dragonites. I had 5 team members picked, them being Pilly with Thunderbolt, Karakua with Ice Beam, Chestnut with Surf, Red Bopple with Return, and Candlenut with Fire Fang, but I was missing one thing, a Psychic type. So I remembered that I hadn't visited the Safari Zone yet. Thanks to the duplicate clause in the Forest Zone, I could either guarantee a Ghastly, Mr. Mime, or Misdreavus. All 3 of these would have been solid encounters for what I need. So I head into the grass and I find a Mr. Mime, who I catch and name Courageon. He learns Psychic by level up, so he joins the team as our 6th and final member. Since the choice specs are so good for my team, I'm going to include a little picture of them up here so we always know who has them. With this team in place, it's time to test our skills at the Pokemon League. The first member of the Elite Four is Will and his Psychic types. Will leads with Xatu and I lead with Pilly. He can pretty comfortably outspeed and take down the part flying type with a super effective Thunderbolt. Second up is Jinx. I swap into Candlenut on a Psychic for less than a third. We aren't at risk to a crit here, so Jinx goes for a Lovely Kiss before her held Chesto Berry wakes her up. Her Fire Fang connects and can cleanly bring down the part Ice type Jinx. Third up is Slowbro. I swap back into Pilly on a Curse, which is the best case scenario. Thanks to choice specs, a single Thunderbolt can take down Slowbro in one shot. Fourth up is Executor. I swap into Karkua on a Hypnosis that missed, but she had a Chesto Berry just in case. She can outspeed and take down Executor with an Ice Beam. Last out is Will's second Xatu. Thanks to its part flying type, an Ice Beam from Karkua can easily one-shot KO. That's Will defeated and the easiest battle of the Elite Four down. Second up is Koga and his poison types. He leads with Ariados and I lead with Candlenut. Since this thing sucks, a Fire Fang can get a one-shot KO so easy, I might as well nickname it Your Mom. Second up is Fortress, which is 4 times weak to fire. Third up is Muck. This thing is the entire reason I brought Red. I pivot through him on a Toxic that he's immune to, and then bring in Courageong on a Minimize. He can thankfully connect through +1 evasion for the choice specs boosted Psychic KO. Fourth up is Crobat. I swapped a Pilly on a Wing Attack, which even after a crit, still does less than a third. A Thunderbolt can't quite get the KO, but Crobat just sets up a double team for more evasion shenanigans. Pilly doesn't care though, and breaks through that for the KO. Last up is Venomoth. I swap back to Candlenut on a Toxic that connects, which isn't a big deal. Venomoth also lands a Supersonic, but even after hitting ourselves once in confusion, we still aren't in any real danger. Candlenut can take down Koga's last Pokemon with another Fire Fang. With Koga defeated, we're halfway through the Elite Four. Our third battle is against Bruno and his fighting types. He leads with Hitmontop and I lead with Courageong. A Psychic can pretty easily take down the first of 3 Hitmons. Second up is Onix. I swap into Chestnut on a Sandstorm, which boosts Onix special defense. It doesn't matter thanks to choice specs and Onix being trash. A single Surf can bring it down, bringing out Hitmonchan third. I swap into Karkua by mistake on a Thunder Punch, and then I swap into Courageong on a Fire Punch for less than half. Thanks to some EV investment during the training, a single Psychic can secure the KO. Fourth up is Hitmonlee. Courageong has a Person Berry for Swagger Confusion, but it doesn't do anything to the critical hit Blaze Kick that brings down our newest team member. Sorry Courageong. I bring in Chestnut. A Surf does over half to Hitmonlee as it just sets up a Focus Energy. One more Surf can bring down Hitmonlee, leaving only his ace, Machamp, left. A Surf does less than half, as a Rock Slide does slightly more. Of my remaining team members, 3 are weak to rock moves and 1 is Pilly, who has less defense than me. So I stay in and risk the crit, but we get bailed out by the Nuzlocke gods, getting a crit Surf to finish off Machamp. It's time for Karen and her dark types. She leads with Umbreon and I lead with Candlenut. The goal of this matchup is to keep whittling away at Umbreon's HP, while also trying to avoid it using double teams. Red totally walls this, but the AI can see that too, so it'll spam double teams until we'll have less success hitting it than you do trying to pick up girls at the bar. I swap back and forth to shake confusions until eventually Red is able to bring down the bulkiest evolution with a return. Second up is Houndoom. This should be a fire move all the time, so I swap into Chestnut on the Flamethrower for resisted damage. Houndoom sets up a nasty plot to +2 special attack, but thanks to the choice specs, a Surf shuts that down in one shot. Third up is Murkrow. I swap into Pilly on a Pluck for resisted damage. Even without static activating, Pilly can outspeed and one-shot with a Thunderbolt. Fourth up is Gengar. A Thunderbolt does less than half, but it does get the paralysis immediately that pays off with a full para. Somehow, after another Thunderbolt brings Gengar into the red, we get a second full para. Since when do I get good luck in Johto Elite Four battles? Karen sends out her Vileplume last. I swap into Karkua on a Stun Spore that misses. A single Ice Beam can cleanly take down Karen's last Pokemon, and with that, we've officially beaten the final Elite Four member. The Dragon Master Lance stands in front of us. He leads with Gyarados and I lead with Pilly. He can outspeed and use a 4 times super effective Thunderbolt for the easy KO. Second up is Lance's level 50 Dragonite. I need to get Karkua in safe, so I bring in Candlenut to get obliterated by an Outrage. Sorry my friend. Now that Karkua is in safe, she can outspeed and get a one-shot KO with the choice specs boosted 4 times super effective Stab Ice Beam. Third up is Aerodactyl. I swap into Red on a Crunch for resisted damage, and then go into Pilly on a Thunderfang for some more resisted damage. Now that Pilly is in safe, he can outspeed and do over half with a Thunderbolt. A Rock Slide in return would have killed if it crit, but It didn't, so we're not going to worry about that, as Pili can freely KO with a second Thunderbolt after Citrus Berry recovery. Fourth up is another Dragonite. I still want a safe swap, so Red needs to make the ultimate sacrifice for the team. He tanks a Dragon Rush for less than half before Thunder connects, absolutely destroying him. Rest well, soldier. I bring Karkua back in. She can outspeed and hit another boosted Ice Beam for the one-shot KO. Fifth up is Charizard. I swap into Chestnut on a Fire Fang for light damage. It does outspeed and hit a Dragon Claw for solid damage before it takes a little over half from Surf. Another Dragon Claw brings Chestnut low before Citrus Berry heals her up, as another Surf can bring down the Kanto starter. Lance's last Pokemon is his third and final Dragonite. I could risk it and swap straight to Karkua, but I want to secure this win. I stay in and use a Surf as Dragonite misses 2 Dragon Rushes, which felt like the devil on my shoulder telling me to switch. I didn't listen though, so after 2 misses, Dragonite finally connects with a Dragon Rush, taking down Chestnut. I bring Karkua back in. Just like with the other Dragonites, she can outspeed and finish off Dragonite with another Ice Beam. And with that, we've officially beaten a Pokemon SoulSilver Hardcore Nuzlocke using only... Wait, let's take this all the way. If we're headed to Kanto, we're gonna need some reinforcements for the team. We add Acorn the Nidorina, who evolves into a Nidoqueen with a Moonstone, Maracona with Spore, Almond with Fly, and Cedar with Close Combat. We catch a ride to Kanto and arrive in Vermilion City. You can't really fight these gyms in level order since there's so many stupid side quests to trigger other events. Like, we need to go do this stupid power plant part recovery thing to fight Misty. An important thing for you guys to know that I'm not even considering scripting a single one of these Kanto gym leader fights, since you can sweep them all with basically one move, let alone one Pokemon. So we beat up Brock, Misty, Surge, Erica, Sabrina, Jasmine, Blaine, and Blue to collect all 8 badges and get Rock Climb from Oak. With the final HM of the game, we can take on Mount Silver and get to the real challenge at the top, Red. Before we do that, we do get one more encounter, a Snorlax named Nut. Listen, I've already been pulling out nuts that you guys have never heard of. Okay, like, what's Kerbajan? Come on, it's just Nut. He's Nut. You're lucky I didn't call it Cum. We make our way through Mount Silver. Full transparency, I did give my team HMs and then deleted them at the top. We reach the summit and Red waits for us silently. He stands there at the peak as I look over my team, losing all confidence immediately. To this fight, we've brought Acorn the Nidoqueen with Earthquake and a Choice Scarf, Karakua the Jinx with Blizzard and a Leppa Berry, Pili the Electrode with Thunderbolt and the Choice Specs, Nut the Snorlax with Return and Leftovers, Cedar the Heracross, whose name got changed to Nut while I was deleting moves, my bad, and he's got Close Combat and a Citrus Berry, and finally, the most unexpected team member, the return of Hickory the Sudowoodo with Rock Slide and a Citrus Berry. With this team of 6, we challenge Red for the title of GOAT. Red leads with Pikachu and I lead with Acorn. Side note, but I did use the level cap of 84 instead of level 88, since Pikachu is the only level 88 and it's kinda terrible. Second out is Lapras. I swap into Cedar, or not, I don't know, and 100% accurate Hail boosted Blizzard does less than half and gets the freeze. That's super annoying, especially since Cedar doesn't thaw in 2 turns and goes down to 2 more Blizzards. Well, there goes my Snorlax counter. I bring in Pili. Also, I forgot to delete these moves on Pili after leveling him up, my bad. A Thunderbolt does 3/4 as Blizzard does over half, and gets another freeze. God damn it. Pili also doesn't thaw right away, so he goes down to another Blizzard. A member of our Indigo League team, rest well. I bring Acorn back out. Choice Scarf lets us outspeed and bring down Lapras after losing 2 team members to freeze RNG. Third up is Blastoise. My plan for this is dead, so I just go for another Earthquake for a third, as a Blizzard doesn't get the freeze, but it does do 3/4. Acorn does need to pay the ultimate price here, as another Earthquake brings Blastoise to a third, as a second Blizzard brings down Acorn. She joined the team after Lance, but she'll never be forgotten. I bring in the newest team member, Nut. Red uses a full restore as a return does less than half. A Blizzard does almost nothing to Nut as a return gets a crit, taking down Blastoise. Fourth up is Red's own Snorlax. His outspeeds and uses a Blizzard that gets a freeze. Bro, are you serious? Nut does thaw right away and uses a return for less than half, but still, what are these freezes? Our Snorlax's trade moves back and forth until eventually, after a full restore, Red's Snorlax goes down. Fifth up is Charizard. A Flare Blitz does less than I was expecting, as return plus recoil brings Charizard below half. I'm sure you guys can tell that Red has been lacking RNG in this fight, so of course he needs some more. So his next Flare Blitz gets a critical hit, taking down Nut. Rest well, new friend. I bring in Hickory. Recoil and Hail bring Charizard into healing range, so after Red uses a full restore, Hickory can do what Hickory was meant for. She fires off a 4x super effective Rock Slide that gets a clean one-shot KO on Red's scariest Pokemon. Last up is his Venusaur, which is the least of our worries. A Giga Drain doesn't actually KO Hickory, so she can get off another Rock Slide for about a third. A Sludge Bomb on the next turn does bring down our pinch hitter. I bring in Krakua. Just like the fight with Lance, it's time for Krakua to end this. Thanks to the permanent hail, she can fire off a 100% accurate, super effective Stab Blizzard for the KO. With Venusaur down, we've taken down Red and officially beaten a Pokemon SoulSilver, one move only, Hardcore Nuzlocke. Thanks so much for watching this one, guys. It was really cool to have a bunch of encounters for a change instead of like 4. Let me know if you liked it in the comments. I'd love to try this challenge on another game. Also, big shout out to Rylox for inspiring this challenge. I saw him do this in Pokemon Diamond, I think it was, and it was fantastic. This run really made me appreciate Jinx. It's a lot better than I thought it was, honestly. If you have any other challenges you want to see me try, put them in the comments down below. If you like my videos and you want to see more, hit that subscribe button so I can reach my goal of being made fun of by Pokemon challenges. With that being said, guys, I've been PomminPs, or P for short, and I'll see you next time.